Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the UMAC on the campus of Union High School for tonight's matchup between the Sapulpa Chieftains and your Union's men's basketball team. Thanks for joining us on the Union Sports Network. Alongside Casey Jordan, I'm Jim Douthit. So some struggles for these boys recently here as Union as they had a tough loss against Muskogee. They bounced back with a win over Sand Springs a few days ago. But now we enter the heart of the season and welcome back in my co-host, the one, the only Casey Jordan. The rust is gone now. It's the meat of the season, if you will, Casey. And how do things change for an athlete as these seasons kind of progress?
Mainly, which, we're talking about 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. Typically, you'd say the rust is going to start showing and they're going to kind of start wearing down. But, these kids, this is what they do. And, they got the energy to keep going. So as long as they can stay fresh and they can keep rolling, they got a good team, but, so does Sapulpa.
Sapulpa Chieftains are led by a senior by the name of Tizon Taft, and he had 22. He averages, I should say, 22 points a game, and he's kind of their superstar, 6-foot guard for Coach Bruner's squad. Ought to be an interesting game this evening, sir.
Yeah, it should. He's going to want to get rolling early. He has a presence both inside and outside. Even though he's not the biggest guy, he can get down low, and he's quick. He gets people moving, gets them off their feet, and that's his goal. So see him getting the ball early and kind of running the offense through him.
So as we talked about a little bit during the girls' game, Sapulpa, a little bit smaller school, obviously a town. These kids have probably been playing with each other for quite a while. That means a whole lot more to a team like Sapulpa than it might for Union, correct? Can some of that come into play?
Yeah, it does. You get kids that, they grow up together, and they play together, they build that continuity, and, that's something it's hard to put a price on, but, with Union, they're a bigger school, so they have more talent to pull from, but kids that play together, that's something to say. They're tough to beat. Kind of like, you look at those old Villanova and Butler squads whenever they get into the tournament, because they've been playing together all 4 years. That's why teams like Kentucky struggle with one-and-dones. So, it's a tough matchup, but it should be a good game going forward, and hopefully it turns out to be that as well.
It's Union, it's Sapulpa. It's coming up next here on the Union Sports Network.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the John Q. Hammonds Arena on the campus of Union High School for tonight's Frontier Valley Conference matchup between Sapulpa and Union. At this time, we ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was
First, let's meet the visitors, the Sapulpa Chieftains. At 6 foot, a senior number 1, Tejon Taft. At 6'1", a senior number 3, Brandon Naya. At 6'7", a senior number 4, Jackson Skipper. At 5'9", a senior number 11, Mason Dement. And at 6'2", a senior number 15, Zach Altum. Head coach of the Chieftains is Ricky Bruner Jr., assisted by Rod Hall, Tim Beecham, Antonio Reed, and Joseph Combs. And now, for your Union starting 5. At 6'3", a freshman, number 1, Dalen Fuller. At 6'1", a senior, number 2, Aaron Davey. At 6'2", a senior, number 4, Jediah Jones. At 6 foot, a senior, number 11, AJ Reed. And at 6'7", a sophomore, number 22, Trent Pierce. Head coach for Union is Rudy Garcia, assisted by Steve Geary, Mark Ritter, and Jonathan Washington.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the UMAC. That's off to a good start. Alongside Casey Jordan, I'm Jim Douthit, and it's the Sapulpa Chieftains coming to town tonight, led by their star, Tejon Taft, and senior, 6-foot senior. It's going to be a really, really good test for our boys from Union.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the AJ Reed, Tejon Taft battle down low and up top. I mean, get those two guards going. They both like to play a little bit physical and see, battle pursue.
Pierce will step in, the sophomore, to take the jump. His teammates are Fuller, Davey, Jones, and Reed for Garcia. Bruner will have the aforementioned Taft, Naya, Skipper, DeMont, and Altum on the floor for the Chieftains. Quickly, Reed's up, gives it to Pierce. Pierce back to Reed, and Reed will set it up. You're just joining us on the Union Sports Network. We appreciate it. You've got Sapulpa and Union tonight. Alongside Casey Jordan, I'm Jim Douthit. Got some great news, great little steal there possible. Nice feet by Reed, and Pierce for 3, and he's on the board early. Nice movement, nice hands by Reed to keep control of that ball.
Yeah, it was. He caught that ball in rhythm, made a nice shot, smart decision, and beautiful play.
There's Reed with the steal. Hard of the basket, off the backboard, and nicely done. And full court pressure early on here for Coach Garcia. But Sapulpa comes out of it nicely. Nicely done there. Skipper. And boy, that didn't look like that slowed the Chieftains down at all. Reed forces the contact. That ball's going to be out of bounds. That'll be rewarded to Union. Nice hustle for both squads. 5-2 early on, Union on top. Pierce will throw into Reed. Jones up high. Back to Pierce. Pierce for another 3. Can't get that one to go, but right in. Nice hustle. Nicely done by Jones to draw contact in the foul.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Pierce right there was short, but followed his shot up nicely, got his own rebound, didn't get the put back, but, Union's getting an opportunity to get some points out of the deal.
Altum will be charged with a foul there. Jones to shoot the second of 2. He'll make it there. So Jones shooting 50% from the free throw line early on.
That's something you don't see too often these days, is kids taking shots, and he knew it was short, so he followed it up and got his own rebound. I wish you saw more of that, but sadly that you don't. It just kind of sits out there, and you don't get a lot of second chance points.
Over and back there. Well, and that's something that we talked about during the girls' game. Our girls are probably one of the toughest teams in the state under the boards.
Yeah, they don't bounce out. whenever ball goes up, they battle, they fight, and you're going to have a hard night getting those girls out of the box and getting easy rebounds.
Now Davey, some nice dribbling moves there. He'll give it to Jeremiah. Reed with the drive. Nice little move, can't get it to go. Rebound there by Skipper. Skipper up ahead for three, off the side. Nice follow though, and a beautiful move there by Brandon Naya.
Once again, following his shot, and getting his own rebound and taking advantage of it.
Fuller gets the lucky bounce back to Pierce. Pierce will slow it down, kind of survey the floor. He'll shoot for three. Nice. And he's 2 for 3 from beyond the arc early on.
Yeah, you don't want to leave him alone up there.
Move, contact, can't get it. Reed with the rebound. That's probably a nice no call from the refs there.
You got to be careful there. He almost went up with an up and down and turnover.
Now Davey in control to Jones. Jones will look it over. Boy, and sure looked like there was a pick there on Fuller. He couldn't get free. Regardless, ball out of bounds to the Chieftains, and they'll bring it up the floor. Taft. He'll try to get hot, shoot the three off the front of the rim there. Boy, and if Taft runs into the problems that Poindexter had early on, this could be a long night for the Chieftains.
Yeah, it's a little early to force that. Get the ball moving, getting it side to side, and try to get a better opportunity. So that's one of those things that you're going to try to get a rein on early. You don't want him taking a lot of uncontested, unnecessary shots like that.
Kind of looks like a 1-2-2 type of defense here that Sapulpa's got. Pierce again for three. That's going to be short. Rebound by Taft.
He didn't catch that one too cleanly. It looked like it came off the side of his hand whenever he laid it up. Had more of a side spin than a top and bottom spin on it.
Reed with a nice block out of bounds. Now Taft. He'll direct some traffic. He'll get it inside to Altum. Altum to Pierce with the steal. Pierce, Jones on his side, and just a little too much. (9-4), 4:18 remaining here in the first. Dement over to Naya. Naya back to Dement, and they'll cross the half court. Reed sure showing his hands tonight. Got another tip, but it'll fall for Dement, and he's on the board. As the ball comes out of play and right to us. Nice hands there by the one, the only Casey Jordan. Saving the old man from getting knocked around.
Do what I can.
Appreciate that. Now Jones will bring it up to Davey. Davey tries to go inside to Fuller. Fuller back to Pierce. They double team Pierce. Jones all by himself. The long three from Davey, and it's good. Oh, the nice stroke. I was going to give that boy a hard time in the classroom about taking a shot from that far out, but that was a beautiful stroke by him. And to Reed, back to Davey. Davey's feeling it again. Rebound there, and we'll see what this Taft kid's all about. Oh! A little razzle-dazzle between Taft and Skipper. And that'll get the Sapulpa fans on their feet, but they're still down by 4, but that was fun.
Great recognition there. Got the defender leaning his way and threw a no-look alley-oop pass. And if Oklahoma High School had Sports Center top 10, it would probably be on there.
There it is. Ball out of bounds. Morris and Jeremiah will check in for Coach Garcia and his squad. 12-8. Union with the ball up high to Reed. Reed will direct some traffic. Tell Pierce to come up high, set the screen on Taft. Oh, and that was, looked like Taft got a piece of that ball, but he's going to get charged. Reed will get charged with the travel.
Yeah, I don't know if the ball ever left his hand and that's what they got, because it sure looked like ball left, and that should have been a continued ball instead of a travel. But you know, I don't know the rules as good as he does, and it looks like maybe he had a better angle than we did.
For sure. Nagy checked in for Union. There's a rebound there by Nia, and he'll go to the line and shoot two. Two fouls called, both of the fouls, I should say, one for Sapulpa and one on Union so far. Nia can't connect from the charity stripe. Moms and dads telling them to make their free throws. So moms and dads, why don't you come down and shoot those free throws? Let's see how well you do. He listens to the parent and gets 1 for 2. Full court press handled very, very well. Nice dish. Oh, and a reverse. Beautiful job there. Aramaya with a nice move, and that was nice ball movement by Union.
It was. Ball only touched the court one time that whole possession. Beautiful.
That was on a bounce pass. Nice move there by Dement, and he's on the board with 4. Davian Morris will play a little catch. Bad pass by Morris. The steal and the easy bucket there by Dement. Coach Garcia can't be happy with that possession. They got to pay a little bit more attention, but that's nice hustle by Dement for Sapulpa.
Yeah, it was. Sapulpa stepping up tonight and playing really good defense.
Sometimes you got to be in the right place at the right time. That ball came to him. Hustle there. Ball stays in. Nicely done. Great hustle back to Nagy. Now we got players, and they'll slow it down and try to get it set back up. That was great hustle all around. Pierce will come away with a little floater. Can't get it to go.
It's also a very smart decision by Trey to slow that ball down and reset and regroup.
Drive there by Skipper. Foul will be charged to Nagy. 14-13 at 1:22 remaining here in the first. And we're hoping the one, the only Mike Rose, athletic director for Sapulpa, be joining us at halftime, but I have not yet seen the one, the only Michael Rose. He may be coming up at halftime, so we'll see. If not, you guys will have 9.5 minutes to go refresh your drinks and go to the restroom and join us back for second half basketball, because we got a good one from the UMAC alongside Casey Jordan. I'm Jim Douthit. Thanks for joining us on the Union Sports Network. 14-all. Skipper with a chance for Sapulpa to take the lead. Neil Kinney on the floor, along with Mo Renty for Union, and a drive there and ball out of bounds to Union. So Kinney and Mo Renty on the floor for Garcia, Coach Garcia's squad, along with Aramaya, Nagy, and Morris. Kinney will get the ball. Renty up high to Nagy. Nagy was the star of this court last week, or last time we saw him here, I should say, Casey, as he went off for something like 14 or 16 points. Had a real complete game for Coach Garcia.
Yeah, he's one of those players that has a really big night or kind of a quiet night. You know, he's had a couple 20-point games already this season, so if he gets hot, he's one to watch out for.
Morris with another foul, and he picks up one. That's 3 already in this game. Nice spin move there. And a steal. Aramaya up ahead to Kinney. Kinney with a nice drive. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Taft. And this is going to be a run and gun game all night, it appears. Taft, and there is a blocking foul. Sure looked like Aramaya had his feet set for sure. But again, different position for the official as opposed to where we're sitting.
Yeah, it looked like he had his feet set, but I think he was outside the circle. So, that's one of those that he typically is going to go against him. So he's got to be careful with those. It looks like he kind of came up a little bit holding that shoulder, so hopefully he's all right.
Maybe the elbow, too. You come down on that elbow, and that'll sting for a little bit. Mo Renty asking Aramaya to come back down to this side of the floor. Off rebound there, Kinney. Nice rebound by Kenny and up ahead to Nagy. Nagy, nice bounce pass. Intercepted, though, by Altum. Altum's going to push the floor. And a nice block there by Nagy. That was a great block on Nagy. But when the ball comes back down, Taft is going to draw the foul, and he'll go and shoot 2 more. (16-14). 14 seconds remaining here in the first. Leading scorers for Sapulpa right now is number 11, Mason Dement, the 5'9" senior. Taft will have a seat there.
Get him a little bit of a breather and try to get him back in probably to start the second quarter.
8 seconds. Nagy's going to play for the last shot, probably smart. He looks back at Coach Garcia. He'll drive, baseline, little floater. That was just probably not the best shot selection at all for a last shot of the half, or excuse me, of the quarter.
Yeah, he went in with his opposite hand and just kind of threw up a little bit of a haymaker, and it wasn't a very ill-advised shot. He probably could have, hindsight's 50-50, could have took a little jump step back and maybe had a better opportunity, but
whatever he was feeling there, regardless, it didn't go in. So, hey, coming up this Thursday through Saturday, it's the Union Jinx Invitational Basketball Tournament. As always, the tournament will use 2 different sites here at the UMAC and at the Frank Harold Fieldhouse in Jinx. But we'll be streaming all the games from the UMAC. So all the games that are going to take place here at the UMAC will be streamed here on the Union Sports Network for free. So if you follow the HFC Warriors, Edmond Santa Fe Mustang in the boys bracket along with the Union boys, you're going to be able to watch them right here on the Union Sports Network. So for more information about possible tickets, you can contact either the Jinx or the Union Athletic Office for more information about tickets. That's coming up this Thursday right here on the Union Sports Network. 18-14, Sapulpa on top. Coach Garcia puts his starting, I'd say it's starting 5 back in, but I'd be lying because Mo Renty's on the floor. There's Renty right there. Nice hands. Ball out of play. Renty will get to take it out, but Sapulpa's going to have kind of a full court. Well, no, they're not really playing a full court play. It looks like they're playing more of a man. Reed brings it up to Jones.
Union's going to have to wake up a little bit offensively.
And there's that Taft kid again with a nice steal. Oh! And nice hands there by Jones as he knocks it out of bounds, slaps his hands together. He's upset about it. That was a good play by Jones.
Yes, it was. Union's going to have to wake up, though, because they're shooting just over 30% in that first quarter where Sapulpa's shooting 50%. So if they want to, keep this a close game, they're going to have to take some better shot selections and start making some of those baskets count.
For Sapulpa right now, it seems like their offense wants to run through the Taft young man for sure. There's a 3 off the iron there. Rebound by Pierce to Reed, and Reed will razzle-dazzle his way up the court over to Aramiah, and Aramiah try to do something fancy, get inside, and draw the contact from Altum. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Now we got to make him pay here.
Yeah, that's they're not shooting too well from the free throw line so far this game. I say that they're only shooting 50%, but they've only shot 2 of them. So
got to draw some more contact. Nicely done there. Aramiah makes the first of 2. On the floor, Pierce, Renty, the aforementioned Aramiah, along with Jones and A.J. Reed for Coach Garcia's squad. Taft looks over to Coach Ricky Bruner Jr. for some instructions. Naya, long 3 there. Nothing but iron, but a nice rebound there by Courtney. Courtney will set it back up, give it to Skipper. Skipper over to Naya. Naya 3, Skipper for 3. And Skipper's got the hot hand as he's got 9 for the Chieftains.
yeah, he kind of called that one and set it up. That's what he was wanting. He took a good look and
Taft upset with himself as that ball's out of play. Checks back in, Dalen Fuller back in, the 6'3" freshman for Coach Garcia. There's Reed with some nice little fancy stutter step move there. Get himself up the court. There's Fuller. Fuller bounce pass. Jones, tough to handle, but nice job to stay with it. Now Jones tries to push it in. There's Taft with those hands again, and he's done that 2 or 3 times. Up ahead, nice little dipsy doodle move, and Skipper's got 11.
Dipsy doodle?
Dipsy doodle move. Yeah, it was a dipsy doodle move. Timeout, Coach Garcia, and we'll take a timeout too, so Casey can look up dipsy doodle on Google. We're back in 30 seconds on the Union Sports Network. Welcome back inside the UMAC. Sapulpa and Union, Sapulpa on top, up by 7 with 6:11 remaining here in the second. And that timeout called by Coach Garcia, he's probably trying to rally his troops, get them to calm down a little bit. What else do you see that they need to change? Obviously, they need to shoot better, but fundamentally.
You know, it's not even necessarily shoot better. It's just take better shots. You know, they just kind of had a lot of throwing them up and, you know, not getting good looks, good opportunities. So kind of moving the ball around, maybe run a few more set plays to get better looks and better opportunities.
Reed with the drive there, and big lane he had, so you're going to want him to take that shot every day. He couldn't get it to fall, so he'll go to the line. Sapulpa only with 3 team fouls so far. They've really played some excellent basketball early on.
Yes, they have. You know, they're doing some nice things. They're moving the ball around, getting a lot of good opportunities off their defensive awareness. They've, you know, keeping their hands in the lanes, keeping their feet moving, and not for sure exactly how many steals they have, but it seems like they've been very active on that side of the court.
Well, I was going to say Taft alone's got 2 or 3, and he just goes up, couldn't get that one to fall, and Fuller up ahead to Davey. Davey stops back to Fuller. Fuller will pull it down over to Reed. Reed with the drive, tries to do something fancy and nice off the glass. And Coach Bruner's going to take a timeout. And we'll take a timeout. We're back in 30 seconds on the Union Sports Network.
In athletics.
Back to live action here. Full court press now by Coach Garcia's squad. Trying to make the Chieftains work the length of the floor. Their Davey will be called for the foul. 6 fouls now, team fouls for Union. That's the second on Davey, I believe. That's the
Yeah, Coach Garcia has not seemed too pleased this first half with his team or the refs right now, so he's got to be kind of careful over there and get pulled back just a little bit.
drive in the bucket there by Skipper. Skipper's going to have 13 if I'm not sadly mistaken. Math doesn't escape me. Now Reed. Reed will slow it down, give some directions to Davey. Over to Fuller. Fuller now. Freshman getting some nice playing time. Up high to Aramiah. Aramiah does some looks. He'll stop, drive, can't handle it, but Pierce right there. Nice follow. Jeremiah wants the foul, but you know what? We end up getting 2 out of the deal, and that's good. And the lead is only 3 now for the Chieftains. It was as high as 7. Taft for 3, and boy, off the mark. Reed with Davey on his left. 2 on 3, right to the bucket. And a big board there, but he'll throw it away. Skipper with a nice rebound, but the 6'7" senior throws it into the Sapulpa bench. A little overzealous.
A little bit.
Davey take it out of bounds. He'll give it to Pierce. Pierce will do some quarterbacking if you would. Pierce, they're 3 short. Rebound Taft. Taft stepped right into Pierce. Pierce will go to, Taft will go to the line and shoot 3, or shoot 2. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's 17 fouls. It's a one-on-one situation.
You know, that's a foul on Pierce that you can live with. He didn't really do anything. You know, he wasn't being egregious with anything. He just kind of got in the way and slowed down that momentum because he had a wide open man down. If he could have seen him, there would have been an easy 2 for Sapulpa right there.
And instead, it's a turnover here. Taft can't make the first of 2, and a 3. A.J. Reed for 3, and he's got 9, leading all Union scorers at this point. And a steal. Jeremiah steps away. Can't get it to fall, though, and a rebound by Taft. And it's 4-on-1. But Union quick to get back. And nicely done there. Union quick to get back, and Pierce with the rebound. Davey goes right in and draws the contact. Garcia not happy about it. Not too sure what Coach Garcia is unhappy about, but
that's one of those offensive, series just like that. You know, he 1-on-4 and he goes in and throws up an ill-advised shot. I mean, I know he's getting free throw opportunities, but Union's got to do better about getting some better shot selections.
One thing that Coach Garcia said to me prior to, as a plethora of players checks in for Sapulpa, Jeremiah will have a seat, and Morris will check back in for Union. One of the things that Coach Garcia said to me, he said we have to be consistent. And I know that's probably easy to say, but him knowing this team, he said if we can play our basketball, we can beat anybody and run with anybody. Just got to be consistent. They don't have really any superstars to play. We see players step up. Pierce to be one of them, obviously. But they got to be consistent.
Yeah, and right now, especially in this first half, they're just they don't look like themselves. That typically, these boys they run their offense, they get the ball moving, and they set themselves up for good opportunities. But today, it's just seemed like it's been kind of one-on-one street ball.
Like that. Fuller got his own rebound, turns around, he can't get it to go. And the big senior will come away with it. And why the foul there, Casey?
Looks like he was just kind of reaching for it to try to make a defensive play, but you got to be smart. You go up there and you force an unnecessary shot, then you come down and now you put yourself and your team in another bind by getting an ill-advised foul that you didn't need in the first place.
Manafee checks back in, Manafee checks back in for Sapulpa.
That was more of a frustration play on his part. He, had an untimely forced turnover and wanted to try to get the ball back, and then double clutch foul.
Skipper with 14 for Sapulpa. He's turning in a performance like TK Pitts had for Union earlier. If you joined us for the girls' game, she put on a show for the ages. That young lady was incredible. There's Pierce with a drive and a nice move there. And the freshman's got 10. The sophomore's got 10. Sorry, Trent, I'll hear about that tomorrow from you, I know. Inside, Skipper, nice little move there. Skipper's got 17. There's Reed, nice dish to Fuller. Fuller can't hang on to it, but he'll get charged with he will go to line and shoot 2.
By no means am I trying to put any type of pressure on A.J. Reed, but the way he plays the game, the way he sees the floor, he reminds me so much of Dwayne Wade. You know, he's such a presence on the defensive side. He's not the tallest guy, but he's one of the most explosive guys. He sure is fun to watch.
Scott Boris is on line 2. Wants to talk to you about rights to Mr. Reed. Rebound there. Sapulpa will bring it up. We'll talk about Scott Boris later. Some of these kids may need him down the road. There's Taft. Taft with the drive. Nice move, can't get it to go, but Skipper right there for the rebound.
This game has been kind of one for the bigs. Both of the, between Pierce and Skipper, both of them 6'7", and leading both teams with points and kind of taking over. And
there's Reed with a nice back to Fuller. Fuller, step back 3, can't get it to go. Had a nice look. Taft with the rebound, he'll put it up. I don't know what that pass was to. They're going to try to razzle-dazzle again, and boy, howdy, there is a hard foul and a half. Taft not happy with himself because he's a much better basketball player than that.
Yeah, he was just trying to make another Sports Center play right there, and it wasn't a very smart decision.
Yeah. And Fuller, the young freshman, upset his team, the senior, and Davey trying to get him to calm down a little bit. That's a good move on Davey's part. Keep the young man in the game. No sense to get upset. Foul was called, and we play on. Oh, nice little move there. If we could have completed that, that would have been beautiful. Nice move by Morris, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2. Taft with 2 fouls. If we can get him in some foul trouble, that would be nice. But Skipper's the one right now that with a hot hand for the Chieftains, as he's got 19 of the 31. Make one, and we'll tie it at 31 with 1:22 remaining. As I said earlier, we're hoping to be joined by the one, the only Mike Rose, athletic director of Sapulpa. We'll see if he's around. I have not seen him yet this evening. If not, you guys can enjoy a nice 9.5 minutes of refilling your drinks and going to the restrooms, because we've got a great one here. Thanks for joining us on the Union Sports Network as we come up on just about a minute or so here to play. Skipper the long 3, can't get it to go, but a couple of Union players fighting it. And Sapulpa got the points out of the deal. There's Jeremiah with the drive and the foul. And the calls are starting to go our way.
Yeah, a little bit, but, it's still, right now, they're just playing street ball. They're not running any offense. They're just it's one-on-one situations. Everybody's driving and trying to make a play, and, they got to get that ball moving side to side. They got to get some rhythm going and try to find their offense instead of just rolling through street ball right now.
Do you play to how the other team's playing? If they're playing street ball, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, the mentality changes in your game strategy on the floor, maybe not on the bench.
Yeah, in my opinion, no. I mean, you play your game, you play your offense. You don't let them dictate what you're going to do. You make them do what you want them to do. So get back and run your offense and try to get them out of rhythm.
Full court pressure now by Union. Jeremiah sunk the 2, and he's got 6. 48 seconds now. Union up by 1. As it looks like the Chieftains are going to slow it down here a little bit and set it up, just like you said, what we really want to see the boys from Union do.
Yeah, they're trying to drain the clock right now, and looks like Union's just going to let them do it. And
now Coach Garcia giving some switches people up. More of a one-on-one, it appears to be. Or is it a 3-2 zone? Seems like
yeah, a little bit of a 3-2, kind of a hybrid 1-2-2 man.
Davey up high. 10 seconds as you can hear some of the fans, and there's a foul by Morris with a reach in.
Good call there. He was reaching in, got the arm, and drug it with him, so.
That's Morris with 3 now. So that's not a good sign for Morris. 3 in the first half. Naya will make him pay. Naya's got 4 on the evening. 6 seconds here remaining. Off the iron. Fought rebound there by Jeremiah. He'll get it up ahead to Reed. Jump ball. And that's going to be out of bounds. And if we had replay, I would believe there'd be a tenth of a second left, but we're going to be going to halftime knotted at 34. No sign of Mr. Rose. So we're going to send it back. If we had a studio, we'd send it back to the studio, right? Real quick, any final words here as we head into 10 minutes of a little bit of a break?
Coach Garcia's got to get his team, to get back to doing what they do best, and that's playing good offensive rhythm. And right now they're just not doing that. So I believe he's going to sit them down and tell them, calm down. Let's set up our offense. Let's play our game. Quit letting them dictate what we're doing. But on the other end, if you're Sapulpa, you keep forcing them to do that. They're not taking great shots, so keep forcing them to allow them to play street ball and let them have some fun.
Well, just as I said, Mr. Rose wasn't around. He showed up. So I tell you what, we're going to take about a minute and a half off, and then we're back with the one, the only athletic director from Sapulpa, Mike Rose, after this break. Well, welcome back in and to the UMAC on the Union Sports Network. I'm joined by the one, the only athletic director for the Sapulpa Chieftains, Mike Rose. And Mike, how are you, first of all? How are things?
Doing very well, Jim. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you, too. Welcome back to
Yes, sir.
your old homestead. So when you come back, what do you think about?
I think about everything that I learned here. I had a great opportunity to work with Emily for those 5 years. You go back before that, the 2 years, teaching and coaching football with Coach Fred, the 5 years with Emily, then my last two in that leadership activities role that Miss Megan Bender's in now. But great learning opportunities all around. Those 5 years with Emily, there's a lot of stuff I've referenced this year. I think back to my time with her, everything that she taught. And I've called her, I've leaned on her a whole lot. It's nice to have that opportunity to call on someone that you learn from. She trained me,
right?
So which is awesome.
So talk a little bit about Sapulpa. I've been lucky enough to talk with Emily a number of different times about everything that she's had to do in the athletics just to be able to play sports. Is it that much different in Sapulpa? What are you guys doing? How is athletics this year for you guys?
Well, you go to the Frontier Valley Conference in general. It's nice to have all those athletic directors to lean on. So for the most part, we're all doing things pretty similar. Things are a little bit different place to place, but we're doing, our venue obviously is not as big as the UMAC,
sure.
The Chieftain Center, so our 25% capacity is obviously a lot smaller than 1,400.
Sure, absolutely.
Standing room only is 2,200, but
right.
Overall, the things that blocking off the first row, mask mandatory, those type things, absolutely. We're doing those things, and I can't say enough about the patrons that we have, our community, how supportive they are, and how excited they were. One, just to have athletics this year, after spring's seasons got shut down last year, so just having our kids play. What we have to do with our venue right now with basketball, varsity, JV and varsity basketball, is have families only, unfortunately. But I say unfortunately, but it's nice that they get to play, and it's nice that the parents get to come in and watch them, and the visiting teams get to come in and watch as well. So
Well, and for sure, and and you've got a great crowd behind us tonight. And one of the things that I joke about, and we joke with Casey on the air, the parents are probably more vocal than even some of the kids, because they're not only rooting for the team that their child plays for, but they're rooting for their son and telling him to shoot over and over, shoot the ball, right? But I mean, you and I'm a parent. I did the same thing. I did the same thing. So that's good. Now, talk about what the future holds, and where do you think what's going to come of this? Is there anything changes-wise? And I guess where I'm going with this, you think there's going to be any big changes that we see over the next year because of what's happened with COVID, that school districts are going to just, take on as part of the normalcy, if you will? Masks and these kind of things.
that's a great question. My knee jerk would say I'd hope we go back to what we used to know as normal. Right. Full capacity stadiums. But that may not be an opportunity. That may not be an option at all until we get a couple years down the road. So I think the biggest thing that for me coming out of this is the flexibility. Not being so dead set on, hey, we have to do it like this, or it has, whatever it might be.
Right.
You got to be okay with change anyway.
Right.
Now, if it works and it's good, and it always has, go that route. But, being willing, being open to changing things, being flexible in working with people, and the communication piece too. Golly, that's important. Making sure that everyone's on the same page. Text messaging, emails, whatever it might be, man, the communication piece is vital. So I think hopefully the flexibility, the being okay with change, and just increasing the communication between all departments in a district to make sure everyone's on the same page. Some districts are very good at that. Some departments are very good at that. Some can grow.
Right.
But I think we can all learn in every capacity.
And I love the fact that you said flexible. It seems like I took a new role here, as you know, in the Career Connect Center. And so you and I are kind of both in the same boat, as we're still learning our new jobs.
Yeah.
And then COVID
Wait, that
hits.
means you work with like Shanda and Ashley and them every day?
Yes.
Golly, I'm sorry.
The great Emily Ashley and she's across the way now.
Yes, she is.
Yeah,
She's
across
not listening
the way.
at all.
No, not at all. But I'm sure somebody will let her know that we're talking about her. So as her husband is our great public address announcer here at Union. Parting thoughts. I know you're happy in Sapulpa. I know Union was a part of your life for quite a while. The kids are still here in school, right, at Union? And so as you think about what you were able to accomplish here, what's your biggest takeaway from what you did here at Union?
Oh, man, from what I did here at Union, goodness
7
gracious.
years, right?
9 years.
9 years, my bad.
Yeah, it's
English,
okay.
not math.
Yeah. I would say developing relationships. That's always been important to me. So being able to come back and spend time talking with Emily, seeing Dr. Hartzler, April French, come to get to see you, Brian Deo, James Wingo, Karen Bills when you see out there. It's fun. I don't know some of the kids. I see Sloan French up there, and
Sure.
it's like, oh hey,
Right.
Get to see him. So the relationship piece was always important to me. So getting to come back and see people that I got to work with, got to know, got to spend a lot of time with, and just sharing something with them. Social media obviously does some great things for us in staying connected. So I get to see some things and can connect with them again in that realm. But seeing them in person, face to face, is awesome. And getting to talk with them too.
Well, it's great to have you back, Mike.
Yes,
I
sir.
can't thank you enough for joining us
absolutely.
here.
Yes,
and
sir. Thank you.
It's the one, the only, the great Mike Rose, athletic director, joining us here on the Union Sports Network. Thanks, Mike. And hey, best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Take care. Welcome back inside the UMAC. We're knotted at 34. It's Sapulpa, and it's Union. Davies going to take it out of bounds. It's going to be guarded closely here by Taft. So at the break, you said something that Coach Garcia is going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those situations where he wants his team to slow it down and kind of run the offense that they know how to run. So we'll see if that was true to the conversation. We'll see how they come out here in the second half.
I feel like that's when they have their most success, is when they're, they calm down, they get the ball moving around, take good shot opportunities, which I know that sounds kind of silly to say because that typically is how you want your offense to run, but they seem to be at their best whenever they do that.
And just like that, first 24 seconds of this quarter, and it's been all possession, it's been all ball movement, like kind of what you talked about. As Pierce will shoot the three, he'll get fouled and one. Oh, baby. Nicely done there.
Definitely live with that, but Coach Garcia still doesn't look too happy with what he just saw. So
he's talking about ball movement maybe a little bit, but shot selection there, and a 4-point play by Pierce as he's got 14 now.
Yeah,
and that may be a nice battle between him and Skipper. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you'll never complain about 4-point possession.
Oh, and that looked like a little bit of a travel, but no call there. Niall pull it down, closely guarded there by Davey. Inside to Skipper. Skipper pulls it back. He'll drive against Pierce. Nice little spin move, can't get it to go. Pierce with the rebound. Up ahead, Reed ahead to Aramiah. Aramiah stops, can't get it to fall. Davey battles with it. Taft comes away with the ball. Oh, and a sweet little move by Taft around Reed. He'll drive and can't get it to go. I'm pretty sure that Taft went one way and pushed the ball the other way around Reed. That was a nice move by him.
Yeah, he's a very good ball handler. He's smart with it. He gets defenders going in one angle and quickly shifts and gets them off balance and accelerates very quickly.
No shooting foul there called. Ball out of bounds, and Skipper can't get it to go. Rebound by Davey. Davey will bring it up. He'll give it to Reed. Reed a little behind the back. Dribble, shot, nicely done. Reed, and you talked about it, you love how he handles the ball. And Sapulpa takes a timeout. Great first minute and 32 seconds for Union. They're up by 6. We'll take a timeout here on the Union Sports Network. Sapulpa get the ball out of play here, 6:28 remaining here in the third. Thanks for joining us on the Union Sports Network alongside Casey Jordan. I'm Jim Douthit. Great game tonight from the UMAC. Nice ball movement by Sapulpa. Can't get the three to go. Fuller with the rebound. He'll survey the floor and bring it up. Guarded there, and he's, definitely fouled. As they tag teamed him and came together. Altum will get charged with the foul, and Altum's got 3, and Taft has got 3 for Sapulpa, so that may be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he better be careful there. He almost picked up his 4th one.
Reed kicks it out for 3. Davey can't get it to go. Fuller can't get the rebound. Skipper, that long reach, easily pulled down that board. Up ahead to Altum, and Altum will put it in. Nice possession there by the Chieftains, a quick one, but a good one. Now Davey up ahead to Fuller. Fuller with some nice moves. He'll pull it up for 3, can't get it to go. Reed with the nice board, though. Nice follow, and I tell you what, Dement looked like he was just miscombobulated a little bit because Reed snuck in and got it.
Yeah, smart play there. He was looking to box out, and Reed went went and blindside on him and got the nice easy rebound and a putback.
42-36 with 5:30 remaining. Almost stolen there by Jeremiah. DeMent up, he's double teamed now, trying to get rid of it. And that's gonna be a jump ball there. Nice job with a combination of Jeremiah and Davey on the defense. Possession arrow is to Sapulpa. Inbound pass to Skipper, Skipper and Pierce. Skipper fade away, can't get it to go. Rebound, Alton, but it's out of bounds. Union ball. As it does feel like they've turned the air conditioning up just a little bit here tonight in the UMAC. As my partner in crime puts on his jacket. Reed with a nice drive and a big block there. Draws the foul though.
Yeah, Reed was about ready to try to put somebody on a poster. I don't know if it was going to work, but he looked like he was trying.
And quickly, Skipper's now got 3. So on the floor for Coach Bruner's squad, Taft, Skipper, and Alton all have 3 fouls. And Skipper will have a seat. As Courtney checks back in for Sapulpa. Reed will shoot his second. Nicely done. And it sounds like whatever Coach Garcia told him, which is probably very similar to what you talked about, slow it down, play your game, is working very well for Union at this point.
Yeah, and they're going to the full court pressure, which is something that they tend to lean on, and it did seem like in the first half, I don't remember much of full court pressure.
Not at all. Not at all. And when you start to come away with what works for you, you're right. You don't play very well, even though fans at home are going, well, gosh, you guys are being rough on them. They had a 2-point lead at halftime, but it probably could have been a much bigger lead for them.
Yeah, you'd rather build your lead and then kind of be able to work on some things instead of trying to have to crawl back in and do some things that you maybe you don't want to show your hand for a little bit later in the season. But
and Davey gets the ball and he'll push it up. Coach Garcia barking some orders about where he wants Pierce and some other players to go. Over to Reed, Reed back to Davey. In the corner to Fuller, Fuller for 3. Can't get the friendly roll there, in and out. And Naya brings it up. Ball will be out of bounds, I'm assuming. Kicked out by Davey, there we go. As Taft's back in, they'll try to get him set up. Taft with some fancy moves, nice little step there. And DeMent will work it back. Almost lost there by Naya. Naya to Taft. And there's the Jeremiah. Thought he got all ball and was trying to strip it.
he was definitely going for it, but, it's one of those situations where it's either going to be a jump ball or a foul, so you'll live with a jump ball.
Taft with a nice move. And they bring it back within 6. Davey gets the pass. Aaron pass and didn't do anything with it there. Boy, he looked like he was going to shoot the 3, and then he pulled it down and threw it away.
Yeah, I was going to give him credit for being smart and not taking a bad shot, and then he forces a turnover. So either way, it wasn't a very good possession by him. But, he's a pretty smart kid, and he's not going to let that get to him. So he'll continue to play his game. And
quickly, 4 team fouls on Union. It really has more than 2 on the floor right now. Taft shoots the long 3, can't get it to go. Pierce with the rebound. Fuller up ahead to Davey. Davey, nice spin move. He's going to go to work. And the foul. DeMent with his first foul. Davey will go to the line and shoot 2. When you get 1-on-2 like that, is that a good call for Davey to just go to the hole and try to draw the contact?
Yeah, he went with a little bit of a Euro step to try to get the defender moving, and, he got what he wanted. And, 1-on-2 is better than 1-on-4, and that seems like in the first half that's some of the things that they were settling with or settling for was some 1-on-4 situations.
Fuller checks out. Sanders checks in for the first time tonight. Jones checks back in. Trent Pierce has a seat. Pierce will get some high fives from his teammates, including Neil Kinney. Davey completes. Morris checks in. Davey checks out. He'll get a hand from the coach and from Nagy. And the lead is 8 for Union. Up ahead to Taft. Taft guarded closely there by Reed. And Reed gets it to bounce off Taft, and the possession will go back to Union, much to this disgruntled fans behind us.
Yeah, they wanted a foul there, but Taft, he kind of was ill-advised with the ball and ended up having a turnover. That looked to me, more on him than it was a foul. So
Jeremiah with the drive, and the charge, and the ball go the other way. And Jeremiah now picks up 3. So Morris has got 3. Jeremiah's got 3 on the floor. Nagy checks back in. Jeremiah will have a seat. Full court press again. The long bomb. Great throw. And probably one of the cheapest fouls I think I've ever seen called before on Sanders.
yeah, Sapulpa fans are going to be happy with that, though. They've been begging for calls all night, and I'm not for sure what exactly that was, but it didn't even look like Sanders even left his feet or moved his hands. So
Maybe a makeup call from earlier. But again, we've talked about it. We're not on the floor, and we weren't that close. Rebound.
it's one of those situations, though, and kind of say ball don't lie. It looked like the ball agreed that that wasn't a foul either. So
Reed will control it. On the floor is Reed and Morris, Nagy, Sanders, and Jones. 2:51 remaining here in the third. Union up by 6. Nagy and Morris playing a little catch. Morris fadeaway, can't get it to go. Sanders was in there but couldn't get the ball to drop for him. And now full court. They dribble out of it, and he double dribbles that one, and he knows it. Upset it himself, but he knows it happened to him. That was great court awareness by Union to force that.
yeah, that's the one thing you never want to do is pick the ball up in that situation, and you got all your team running down court to try to set up something, and then you pick it up and you have no backside help. So
You had nobody there to help you, right? Now Reed. Reed and Nagy kind of looking everything over. Coach Garcia getting ready to bark a few orders, I'm sure. Sapulpa's just going to let him dribble this out. I don't know if we can do this for 2 minutes and 10 seconds, but stranger things have happened. Now Garcia wants a little bit of a screen here. Get it to Nagy. Nagy back to Reed. Sanders set up a screen, but it didn't look like anything came of that.
Yeah, if they're going to let you do it, you might as well drain the clock a little bit. And
Nagy, Reed drives to Sanders. Sanders can't hold on to it. That's a pretty good defensive play, I guess, by Sapulpa.
yeah, I'm not really for sure what was going on there. They just kind of sat there and didn't really try to do anything and was settling for running the clock down and got a little bit stagnant and
Could not. You got to come away with 2 points at that point. Inside Skipper, nice bounce pass. Fadeaway, can't get it to go. Rebound there, battle for Sanders, comes away with it to Nagy. Nagy, yeah, that's a good job pulling it up because he didn't have any help. It was him and Jones down low, and that was about it before his players could come back and help him up.
yeah, Sapulpa didn't get points there, but in my opinion, that was a really good offensive possession by them. Nice ball movement. They got it inside. They got the shot that they wanted. It just didn't go in for them.
46-40, just under a minute to play now. Reed kind of looking at Coach Garcia, and you're right, Coach Garcia still got a frown on his face underneath that mask. Morris puts it on the floor. Back to Reed. Reed will stand there, back to Morris. Now they're really waiting. Jones down along the baseline, and he's smiling as he goes towards the paint and then backs off. Now Reed waits. We can do this all night.
Yeah, I would rather not, but if you got a 6-point lead and if you can control it and contain it, so.
He's going to sit on it for 10 seconds. 7-6. Now they're going to try to go somewhere. Reed for 3. Can't get it to go. I don't know what was drawn up there, Casey, but that just didn't look like a possession that.
Yeah, I'm not really for sure. I was hoping at start of the third quarter, running a little bit more set plays and setting your offense up, and that's not really what I had in mind. But you still got the lead, so I, I don't really know.
I don't know either. As Coach Garcia has a little conversation with the officials, we're going to take a timeout. Come back for the fourth quarter. It's a tie one, 46-40. Union on top on the Union Sports Network. Welcome back for fourth quarter action here on the Union Sports Network alongside Casey Jordan. I'm Jim Douthit. 46-40 in a tight game, Casey. A bad pass there, but Morris with nice hands, and that's going to be out of bounds, unfortunately. Sapulpa going the other way, and that's not what you want coming out of.
No, but some of that could be your own mishandling, the way that they played the end of that third quarter where they just kind of sat there and didn't really do anything. They got stagnant. You get a little bit lazy in those situations, and that could be kind of on them more than on Sapulpa. So.
And quickly, we're already in the bonus with 15 seconds into the fourth quarter. Nagy got charged with a foul there, and Coach Garcia obviously not happy about that at all. Taft gets the front of the 1-and-1. Trent Pierce checks back in. A.J. Reed has a seat for Coach Garcia. So on the floor, it's Sanders, Morris, Nagy, Pierce, and Jones. Taft to shoot the second of 2. Off the iron. Rebound there. Ball's away, and Morris controls it. In. Off the iron. Pierce with the rebound. Back to Jones, and Jones in. So a lot of hands touch that. Jones comes away with 2. There's Sanders with a steal. Oh, and out of bounds. Nice hustle there by Sanders.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a talk with Sanders before the game started. Since they keep leaving him off the roster, I told him he gets to play like a free man and do whatever he wants to do. So
if we're just so you guys know at home, what Casey's referring to is every time we get our course rosters, and this entire season, poor number 13 has been left off the roster, and we got to pencil him in each time. Not that we will forget ever who he is now. As Morris sets it up. He'll do a nice little move. Drives hard to the basket, can't get it to go. And again, not the possession I would think that Coach Garcia wants as Taft goes back down the floor. Scoop and score there. And they're back within 5, Sapulpa is. Jones brings it up.
Ooh, they missed Sanders streaking down on the backside. He was wide open with his hand up saying, "Feed me," but just missed him.
Jones kind of looking at his feet. Nice move there by Nagy. Back to Jones. Jones will drive. Can't get it to go, but right to Pierce, and Pierce will put it in. I don't think we drew it up like that, but
No,
we'll take 2 points.
Got lucky there. They're kind of going back to that street ball mentality right here. And, if you're Sapulpa, you're going to let them play that because that's where you kept the game close and was in reach. And once you let them set their offense up, that's where.
And there's the streaking Sanders like you talked about, and that was great. Sanders hustles down the floor and gets it to go. Sapulpa will take a timeout, and so will we. It's 52-43, Union on top on the Union Sports Network. Welcome back to the to the UMAC, and on the Union Sports Network alongside Casey Jordan, I'm Jim Douthit. As Neil Diamond welcomed us back from that break, little Sweet Caroline. Quickly to the hoop as the Chieftains are wanting to push the pace here. Skipper with the ball, nice move. Can't get it. He'll kick it out for three. That's going to be off the iron. Rebound, Jones.
Yeah, so Pulpa's going to crawl back in this. They're going to need Taft and Skipper to really start stepping up and taking over this game.
Jediah Jones with a nice cut over Skipper, and that's a nice bucket for Jones. Nice possession by Union.
It was. They didn't settle. They, even though they moved the ball around and got a quick possession, they didn't just chunk up an ill-advised shot. They moved it, pushed it inside, and had a nice look.
Pierce with a nice hustle. Ball goes out of bounds, but no foul called there. Ref did a good job as that was a loose ball and two players coming together for going for it. Sapulpa will get the ball back here. We got about 5:20 remaining in the fourth. Union up by 11. There's the steal by Nagy. Nagy's got Jones. Nagy goes straight to the hoop and a nice lay-in. And we saw that a lot out of Nagy last time we were here. He had some great hands and was able to steal the ball a few times and control it. There's Pierce with the reach in on Skipper. That's a great little battle. Coach Garcia telling what he wants Trent Pierce to do is Pierce is going to get charged with his third foul, I believe. Yes. Jackson Skipper steps to the line here. That boy's got 19, but he's been held in check this half, for that matter, and can't make it there because he had 19 going into the break.
Yeah, I feel like he had most of his points in the first half, and he really was a presence on both ends of the court. So it just seems like, this second half, he's just been
outside for Pierce. Sanders to Pierce, and he'll knock the three down. And Garcia looks happy as he claps as Sapulpa takes the timeout. And I think that's the first time we've seen Coach Garcia happy.
Yeah, it took him all game, but he finally cracked a smile. He's been pretty upset all game.
We'll have to ask his wife if that frown is something normal. Maybe that's just here. Maybe that's just here, and maybe it's that just this evening. As his boys have climbed to a lead of 16 now with 4:38 remaining in the fourth quarter. Hey, coming up this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it's the Union Jinx Invitational Basketball Tournament. As always, the tournament will use two different sites here at the UMAC and the Frank Harold Fieldhouse in Jinx. But we'll be streaming all the games that'll take place here at the UMAC here on the Union Sports Network, and that won't cost you a dime. So those of you that follow HFC and Edmond Santa Fe along with Mustang and, of course, the Union boys, you can watch your boys play here on the Union Sports Network. For more information about tickets, we'd ask you to contact the Jinx or the Union Athletic offices. But all of the games here at the UMAC will be streamed live for free on the Union Sports Network. That's this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I think we'll see these boys back in action at 8:30 Thursday night as their first game is against HFC Warriors out of Oklahoma City. And it'd be nice to start a tournament on an uptick, taking a win home tonight.
Yeah, and definitely the way the game started, it looked like it was going to be a pretty close, highly contested game, and then Union just kind of started pulling away, kind of like the girls did earlier in the day. And
there's a bad pass stolen by Aramaya. Aramaya pushes the floor, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. And that ball will be awarded back to Union. Oh, I apologize. It was a foul called. It's going to be a foul charged to Dement. That's only his second. Sapulpa's only 5 fouls, team fouls. Jones and Edwards check in for Sapulpa. Taft smiling at Aramaya, and Aramaya got the best of him but couldn't finish it. That's going to be ball out of bounds. That'll be to Sapulpa. Taft's barking some orders, getting his players to come back to him. He's going to want Menifee to pull it down and in. He'll push the floor. Sapulpa's going to have to put something together here, partner, if they're going to make a run. Down by 16. Nice move there.
They're going to need more of that, that's for sure. That's in the first half, they really controlled the inside of it. They had 20 points in the paint compared to Union's 10. So they got to get that ball inside and try to get some inside presence going if they want to inch way. They got 4 minutes. There's plenty of time for them to get back into this. They just got to be smart and take better shot selections this remaining of the day.
Foul away from the ball, or excuse me, away from the shot, I should say. Nicely done there. Boy, Reed pushes that home, and he just kind of muscled that ball in there.
Yeah, Taft's wanting to control him down.
Skipper all alone, can't get it to go. Reed with the rebound. Skipper was just a little too strong to the hoop there. And that ball will be awarded, knocked out of bounds by Sapulpa.
Yeah, Garrett just checked in about a minute ago, and he's making, his presence known pretty quick. It seems like they should have got him in a little bit earlier, the way he's been playing.
Reed into Pierce. Pierce kicks it out. Aramaya thought about the three. Now he puts it on the floor. He'll drive, and a foul away. Edwards will get charged with a foul. Not too sure if it's a shooting foul or not, but either way, he goes at least to get one. Be a 1-and-1 situation here, I believe. Yes, that's what the ref showed. Aramaya, nice. Something that it seems like we're doing a better job tonight is finally starting to make them pay from the free throw line.
Yeah, early in the season they weren't shooting very well from the free throw line, but tonight they've done a much better job, which maybe that's some of early in the season you correct them, make them shoot more free throws than they should, or make them run more than they want to whenever they do miss them. So
still running them when they make the fundamental mistakes and can't shoot free throws. That's a good point. That's something Coach Garcia is good about doing. Skipper inside, can't get it to go, but he gets his own rebound. And Skipper's got, I believe, his first 2 points of this half, Casey. There's a steal almost by Altum. Reed picked up nicely. He'll get it ahead to Aramaya, and Aramaya will just slow it down here. 3:03 remaining. You're up by 16, 17, 16 points. That's probably, now I'm wondering why you're not just sitting on the ball. Oh, inside to Sanders. It was wide open, but a nice rebound and one. But what do I know, right? As we could stretch the lead to 19 now, if Sanders can make this. I guess my point was, Casey, what we saw at the end of the first half, maybe Coach Garcia just wasn't happy with how anything was going. You get a hold of the ball and you can just sit on it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like something definitely changed for them because they come out in the second half ready to play, and they put their foot on the pedal and they really haven't looked back.
Right. Now we could say this. Skipper's gotten very, very cold, and it could be because he got cold or because defensively we figured him out. Pierce was in his face there. Rebound and a foul. And Sapulpa will go to the line. But anyway, back to Skipper. You know, Pierce has been in his face all night, for sure. Pierce has got 19 as well.
Yeah, it's been a battle between those two. You know, at the beginning of the game, I thought it was going to be a AJ Reed and Taft battle, but you know, the two big guys said, "Hey, you know, don't count us out," because you know their play style is very similar. You know, they're both tall guards who can handle the ball very well. They both shoot well from outside, so you know, you get two guys like that playing and going against each other. It's fun to watch.
As I said, Pierce with 19. But Skipper leads all scorers with 21 on the floor right now. As Pierce will bring it up. He's got to watch behind him as he's guarded closely. He drives, dish to Sanders, back outside. Aramaya for three, good! Aramaya happy about that, and that was a great possession as Union stretches the lead to 20, but a nice move there by Taft. Taft not wasting any time down the floor. Go ahead.
You'll trade 3 for 2 all day.
There's Pierce again. He'll drive, just lay it up and in.
Not for sure that I think he was looking for a foul there and
didn't get it. But hey, we're going to trade baskets all the way down the floor for the next minute 55. Especially 2 for 2 at this point. Reed steal there by Sapulpa. Sapulpa will come away, and it's going to be 3-on-1. Quick to Skipper, and Skipper will lay it in. Skipper's now got 25.
Yeah, our lead umpire's getting his steps in the last couple minutes.
For sure, but with a minute and 28 to go and you're up by 16, this would be where I'd say you just sit on the ball.
Yeah, you could see a little bit of that same offense that you saw in the second half. Just keep it up top and, you know, force them to foul you. You know, if you're going to get your points, you might as well.
Pierce with a nice move, but can't get the finger roll to go. And we're coming up on approaching 1 minute to play. Taft will go in. He'll go right to the hoop. Nice little scoop by him. And Taft has finally come alive, and he's got 12. Now Reed.
You can't just let them go in like that. I mean, I know you're down and whatnot, but you can't just lay down and let them get an easy bucket like that.
And it appears that's what's going to happen is Union's going to go on to win this one. And this is going to be a great win and some good coaching, we could say, at whatever Coach Garcia told them at half. Union came out and completely changed their style as Davey will get another 2, and we'll extend the lead to 18. 16 seconds. So let's talk about what's going to happen this weekend. Thursday, the boys will start at 8:30 here on the Union Sports Network as they'll play HFC, the Warriors from Oklahoma City. For information about the Jinx Union tournament, please contact the Jinx and Union athletic offices for ticket information. But all of our games here are going to be streamed on the Union Sports Network. So it's going to be a great weekend of basketball. Casey will join me on Friday and Saturday for the games. So Casey, I appreciate you being here.
Yes,
Any
sir.
final thoughts going into the tournament?
You know, it's a good way to get the tournament started. You get a nice win over a really good Sapulpa team. I mean, you know, I know the score was a little bit lopsided, but Sapulpa's no slouch. They got a good basketball team. They play really well together. So it's a good win for Union and a little bit of momentum leading into the tournament.
So let's tell you what we got going on Thursday night as the Union Jinx Invitational starts with the ladies. Mustang and Ponca City will kick us off at 4, followed by the boys, Edmond, Santa Fe, and Mustang at 5:30. And we will join you as the Union ladies tip off at 7 against the HFC Warriors, and then the boys at 8:30 against the HFC Warriors as well, right here on the Union Sports Network. So for our director, Andy Irwin, of course, Casey Jordan, I'm Jim Douthit. For all of us here at the Union Sports Network, we wish you the finest of evenings and a pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you Thursday night, everybody.